Yo, what is up guys? It's me exactly. We ain't gonna waste any time. Let's just get into everything that went down in the NBA yesterday. Lego. First up in the news part of the video, Isaiah Thomas has come out and said that he still isn't feeling quite right on the court, which might surprise some people, but really shouldn't surprise anyone, considering that he had been out for so long. He basically missed the entire first half of the season. And when you come back from a major injury like that, you don't come back feeling right. But with the way he performed in his first couple of games back, he might have had some people fooled. It might have left some people thinking that he might be close to 100% back. He must be feeling right. He must be the same Isaiah Thomas from last year, because the guy was scoring a point per minute for Cleveland. Every minute he was out there on the court, that was another point. He was a walking bucket. However, since then, things haven't been so pretty for Isaiah Thomas. He sat out a couple of games since the Cavs are still trying to monitor his minutes, but in his last 2 games, he struggled. He only had 4 points on 2 of 15 shooting in their blowout loss against the Raptors, and 9 points on 2 of 11 shooting in their Cavs blowout loss against the Wolves. Last year, you would have never seen Isaiah Thomas have back-to-back games like that, so of course, something had to be up.
I knew it was gonna be like this. I mean, I have no legs, so like, it's gonna take some time for me to get it back. Even when I played well those first 2 games, I told Coach Lou it didn't feel right. Like, it was kind of fool's gold. Like, the shots were just going in, but none of my movements, none of my things I usually do felt normal. And it's gonna be like that for a while. So, I mean, I just gotta be patient.
I think Isaiah Thomas's first 2 games back, him playing so well, had to do something with him having this itch to play. He had been out for so long, couldn't wait to get back on the court, that when he finally did get back on the court, he had all this excitement, all this adrenaline built up, so that when he was playing, he was kind of able to ignore the fatigue, some pain and discomfort that he might have been in, and just go out there and get buckets. But now that it's a few games later and he might not have all that adrenaline, all that excitement, he can feel himself getting tired when he's on the court. Like he said, he doesn't have the legs that he used to from not playing basketball in so long. All that being said, with the way the Cavs are playing right now, they could for sure use Isaiah Thomas back at full strength. They could use the 30-point per game score that we were seeing last year. He might not help them much on the defensive end of the ball where they desperately need help at the moment, but with that extra scoring, maybe they could just flat out outscore some teams without playing defense. Look, I'm just as frustrated as you guys are at this point. Trust me, I did not want to make another update about this. Even when I was deciding to make this video, I had to decide whether or not I would include this, because I'm sick of it too. But I wouldn't be doing you guys justice to leave you with a false impression, to leave you with a false hope that everything is okay. So real quick, here it is. Remember a week ago when reports came out about Markelle Fultz playing 5-on-5, full contact practice for the Sixers? They said everything was going well. He was progressing in his recovery. When that happened, I thought everything was dandy, everything was roses, but now I have learned my lesson. Until I see Markelle Fultz play on the basketball court, I will assume that there is still something seriously wrong with Markelle Fultz. And even then, unless Markelle Fultz is looking like Markelle Fultz was looking in the summer league or last year in college, I will still assume there is something wrong with Markelle Fultz. The man looks like he's shooting the basketball for the first time. You give the basketball to a newborn child, have them shoot it, it's going to look similar to how Markelle Fultz is shooting right now. He's just forcing it up there from his chest. There ain't nothing right about that. And on top of that, after this video came out and went sort of viral, you had articles from the Sixers talking about it's too early to go up on Markelle Fultz because he has too much talent, and then Brett Brown coming out and saying this. I think what Markelle Fultz needs is to be able to shoot a basketball. That's what he said. Really? Really? Is that what you got out of this? Did you think of that all on your own? Really? You think that's all he needs? Well, thanks for letting us know, because we for sure couldn't tell that. I'm not even gonna waste any more time talking about this. It's making me upset. So let me just say this. NBA, y'all need to do some type of a full investigation on the Philadelphia 76ers, because they did something to Markelle Fultz and it wasn't right. And Markelle Fultz, shoot the basketball. I don't know if you forgot everything, but shoot the basketball. That's all you gotta do. Watch old film and shoot the basketball, please. Lastly, we got some quick news about Lonzo Ball. He just recently had come back from an injury that had forced him to miss 6 games for the Lakers. And in those 6 games, the Lakers struggled. They lost all 6 of those games. But now that he's back, the Lakers have been playing much better. They've won 4 of their 5 games since his return and currently have a 4-game winning streak. Well, that might change too now, as Lonzo Ball might not be able to play in the Lakers' next game. A couple of nights ago when the Lakers beat the Mavericks in overtime, Lonzo Ball kind of tweaked his knee. It was nothing serious at the time. He was still playing on it. However, the next morning, he told the Lakers that he had some knee pain. And the Lakers did some tests and found out that he has a minor left knee sprain and is now listed as questionable for their game today against the Mavericks. It sucks to see Lonzo Ball having another one of these little injuries, but it is good to see that the Lakers are being so precautious with their young players. If a player wakes up with knee pain, like Lonzo did yesterday, ignoring it and telling him to walk it off like some other organizations might do probably isn't the best idea, because that knee pain could develop into something much more serious, like the player completely forgetting how to shoot the ball. That is, if the knee pain was shoulder pain. That was all the news from yesterday though. Let me know what you guys think about all of it down in the comment section below, but now let's take a look at some of the games from last night. We had all been waiting for Anthony Davis to have one of these types of games this year. He has still been really freaking good for the Pelicans, don't get me wrong. It's just that we have been used to seeing him have monster games like this more often from previous seasons, and that just really hasn't been the case so far this year. It did happen yesterday though, at the expense of the New York Knicks. Credit to New York though, as they were able to keep up and actually force overtime despite not being able to stop Davis. But in the end, they couldn't keep up enough, as the Pelicans get the 123-118 overtime win behind Anthony Davis and his 48 points, 17 rebounds, 4 steals and 3 blocks. And DeMarcus Cousins, he may not have shot well, only 4 of 16 from the field, but he stuffed the stat sheet regardless. Only 15 points, but he also had 16 rebounds, 5 assists, 7 steals, and 3 blocks. Between Cousins and Davis combined alone, the Pelicans got 63 points, 33 rebounds, still just 5 assists, but 11 steals and 6 blocks. They should be the most dominant duo in the NBA. It's just that they play for the Pelicans. What about this Miami Heat team? I don't know why, but they always get out the slow start to start the season. If they hadn't been like a sub 500 team for the first 30 games, they might be giving Boston a fight for the #1 seed with the way they have been playing. I don't know. And it's crazy because this team plays so well without any big star players. The biggest star is arguably Hassan Whiteside, even though I personally think Goran Dragic is better. And Whiteside isn't even having an amazing year or anything. He's been in and out of the lineup, and it's just been, you know, Hassan Whiteside other than that. So it really is nice to see them doing well. And the Heat's defense stifled the Bucks last night, only giving up 79 points and forcing a putrid 31% shooting from the field. Miami has now won 7 straight games and are only 1 game behind the Cleveland Cavaliers for the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. And with the way the Cavs have been playing and their tough schedule coming up, I don't know if Miami might be able to snag that 3rd seed for a bit. And if the Heat keep playing like this and the Raptors keep playing like this and the Celtics are pretty much untouchable at this point, I wouldn't bank on it, but it's for sure possible the Cavs end up with the 4th seed in the East. But even if they do end up with the 4th seed, I still think they'd be heavy favorites to come out of the East. And honestly, I don't know if I could see them actually ending up with the 4th seed. The Cavs are bound to go on another huge run at some point. That's just the kind of team they are during the regular season. And the Wolves keep winning as well. I've said it before and I will say it again. I will say it many times more. Jimmy Butler is one of the best winners in the NBA. You put him on any team and that team will start to win more games instantly. I knew there was no way that you put him on a team with as much talent as the Wolves and the Wolves wouldn't become a great team, and that's exactly what they are becoming, a great team. 120-103 the final score yesterday. Jeff Teague, Karl Anthony Towns, Jimmy Butler, Andrew Wiggins, and of course Taj Gibson too. All those guys were just locked in. I mean, you have Butler with 24 points on 7-11 shooting, Wiggins with only 17 points but on 8 of 11 shooting, Towns with 20 on 6 of 11, Teague with 22 on 8 of 15, and the Wolves are now 29-16. I don't think they'll be serious contenders this year, but next year, if they can fill out that bench a little bit more, watch out. And lastly, Josh Jackson may have had his best scoring game of his career so far with 21 points, but it still wasn't enough for the Suns to beat the Pacers. The better team won in the end as expected. 120-97 the final score as Victor Oladipo had 17 and Darren Collison added 19. That was all the action from last night though. Don't forget to go vote for the player of the day. Just remember the only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. And yesterday, you guys selected Chris Dunn and his 18 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 blocks, and 3 steals as your player of the day. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure to smack that like button if you enjoyed it, as well as subscribe to the channel, join the quest to 200K and hashtag a million a year, and to stay up to date with everything that goes on in the NBA on a daily basis. But until tomorrow, keep getting the Bucks, Team STC, and I'm out of here. Peace!